Hi everyone, Tassif here back with another live stream. Thank you for joining. I have something very important to discuss today. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna take care of the wire here. I have to plug in my charger. Badger Den is here. Badger Den writes, "Good evening, Tassif. I hope everything is good." Well, Badger Den, let me tell you, everything is okay. I am optimistic as always, but there are some news updates that I'm going to share with you. Things that are. Give me 1 second. I should be more prepared. I'm just dropping stuff from my desk here, so a piece of paper just fell on the floor. I'm gonna pick it up later, not a problem. So as I was saying, Badger Den, I hope you are doing well. It's good to see that you're here. Thank you for joining. I am optimistic as always, but there are a few things that I am quite concerned about, and I'm going to share that with you. Now, here in Wisconsin, there is a new poll, a new survey that was released on Wednesday by Quinnipiac University. And that survey pertaining to the U.S. Senate race shows that incumbent Democrat U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin is at 54% support, and Eric Hovde, the Republican challenger, Eric Hovde, is at 42%. Democrat Tammy Baldwin, incumbent, is at 54%, and Republican Eric Hovde is at 42%. And I saw that today, and this is a survey done by Quinnipiac University, and I became very, very concerned. That's a 12-point difference. And Wisconsin is a battleground state, you know that. And I keep saying that we have to win Wisconsin if we want to regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. And I'm hoping that Eric Hovde wins because he is the GOP frontrunner in the Senate race, and he's the hope for 2024. And I'm very concerned when I see this survey by Quinnipiac University that shows that Tammy Baldwin, has a 12-point lead over Eric Hovde. And that makes me very, very concerned. Very, very concerned. And that's not the only one. I was looking at Arizona. I was looking at the Arizona Senate race, and it seems that Kari Lake is behind in the polls in the competition against her Democrat opponent. So in battleground Wisconsin, if this Quinnipiac University survey is accurate, if you think you can trust the results of this survey, then it gives the Republicans reasons to be very, very concerned. We cannot afford to lose this U.S. Senate race in Wisconsin. And I see this Quinnipiac University survey, and it shows that Tammy Baldwin, the Democrat, is at 54. Eric Hovde, the Republican, is at 42. It makes me very, very concerned. And as I said, in Arizona, Kari Lake appears to be behind, so we cannot afford to lose these races. We cannot afford to lose Arizona. We cannot afford to lose Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we need momentum in each and every race. We need momentum in the congressional races. We need momentum in the U.S. Senate race. We need momentum in the race for the White House. if all our GOP candidates perform well, okay, whether they are running for state assembly or state senate or US Congress or US Senate, when all our GOP candidates perform well in the election, that's likely going to help Trump win Wisconsin and get the 10 electoral college votes from Wisconsin. And if our US Senate candidate is behind, once again, I'm not saying you're going to have to trust this poll, but if you do trust this Quinnipiac University survey, then we have reasons to be worried. And so here's my suggestion. And before I get to that, let me just tell you, please, my friends, as you are joining, participate in the live chat window. Share with me your thoughts. Ask me question. Share your opinion. And let's have an exchange. Let's exchange information. Let's exchange ideas. Let's hear each other's thoughts. So my friend Badger Den always participates in the live chat window, which I really appreciate. And I'm waiting for others to join and also participate in the live chat window. Please participate in the live chat window, okay? And there's something very important that I want to talk about, and that is the role of George W. Bush, President Bush. For a very long time, it seems that we have not heard from George W. Bush. If you are paying attention to the race for the White House, then you know that Bill Clinton is campaigning for Joe Biden. Barack Obama is campaigning for Joe Biden. So these former Democrat presidents are campaigning for Joe Biden. So I think George Bush should campaign for Donald Trump. That is what I think should happen. George Bush should campaign for Donald Trump, but he is not doing that. I mean, there's a lot of silence coming from George Bush. A lot of silence coming from George Bush. You don't hear about him much. Ever since he left office, really, we have not heard a whole lot from George Bush. And I think now is the time. Now, I do understand. I am very much aware of the differences between George Bush and Donald Trump. They are not exactly on the same page. They have very different personalities. They have very different temperament. They are different individuals. They have different views on a lot of different things. And I know that Donald Trump has criticized George Bush. In fact, do you remember when Jeb Bush and Donald Trump were on the same debate stage? They had exchange, they had back and forth. There were heated moments between Jeb Bush and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump also openly criticized George Bush, former president. My friend Terry Dunlap is back. Terry writes, "Hey there, South Dakota is back too." Terry, it is so wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining. We're discussing something very important, and your input is welcome. Please, so share your thoughts on this. Terry, what I'm saying, and Badgerton is here too. What I'm saying is that it is time to put aside differences and to unite. And I think the greatest gesture of unity in this moment in American history, because this is really history. I mean, people are going to be reading and talking about the year 2024, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, maybe 50 years from now, people are going to be talking about 2024. I think so. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, but that's what I think. So, in this moment, we have to unite. The Republicans will have to unite, and that means Donald Trump and George Bush should unite. I think George Bush, two-term president, Republican President George Bush should campaign for Trump. Terry writes, only if Trump wants him to. I don't know if Trump talks to George Bush, if George Bush talks to Trump. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, okay? And I understand, Terry, I understand what you're saying. A lot of Trump supporters probably don't like George Bush. But you know what? We have to put aside differences. Focus on the points that unite us. George Bush, Republican. Donald Trump, Republican. And they are from the same party. Yes, we can talk about the George Bush presidency, and we can talk about the things, the decisions that he made that were probably not great. We can always look at a presidency and talk about the things that went wrong, and we can talk about how different things could have been. Obviously, George Bush, the George Bush presidency was very different. It was unique in many ways, and obviously, we can talk about the things that he could have done differently. I understand all that. But in this moment of crisis in America, when we see that our GOP frontrunner, our presumptive nominee, our former president and likely future president is being dragged in court, and he is being humiliated by the left-wing judicial activists, and all these cases and lawsuits are being thrown at him. It is time for all Republicans to unite. I understand that even among Republicans there are differences of opinion. That's okay. But it is time to unite, and I think it is time for George Bush to campaign for Donald Trump. Terry writes, he could endorse him, but I think Trump is doing good without him. Well, I think Trump is doing good, but sometimes you need a strong support. And obviously Trump has a lot of support because the American people stand with Trump. But what I'm saying is George Bush is an important voice. Now, you may disagree with the things that George Bush did. You may disagree, you may criticize some of the things that Bush did. But leave that in the past. George Bush is a very important part of American history. He's a powerful voice, and there are many people who support and appreciate him. And obviously there are many people who don't appreciate him and they criticize him. I get that. Even among Republicans, as I said, there are differences of opinion, but you cannot deny that George Bush is an important voice. His presence matters. And so I think George Bush should campaign for Trump. I think George Bush should break his silence and appear on a stage or on video or alongside Trump at a rally. And George Bush should endorse Trump, not just through like a social media post, not just through a statement, but really George Bush should appear alongside Trump at a rally and endorse him. I mean, that would be massive. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Can you imagine if George Bush appears alongside Trump and endorses him? Now, I know what I'm saying is going to lead to a debate. I understand that. Even among Republicans, there are many who will disagree with me. I get that. I understand that. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just saying it would be like super duper breaking news. Anyway, let me read some comments. Badgerden writes, we will speak about 2024 and how Trump won. Absolutely, Badgerden. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Thank you for writing that. Years from now, hopefully, we will be talking about 2024 and how Trump won. How he beat all the odds. How he fought to overcome challenges and to win. Badgerden writes, I was in favor of the Democrat Party when George W. Bush was president. I didn't become Republican until 2015. Well, so Badgerden, you are a Trump Republican. If you became a Republican in 2015, you are a Trump Republican, right? And there are so many Trump Republicans, and Trump Republicans are the reason why Trump won in 2016. So Badgerden, I appreciate you becoming a Republican in 2015. It was a very important year. Badgerden writes, Terry Dunlap, I agree, he doesn't need him. Terry writes, I liked George W. Bush, but I'm moving on. Okay, so I understand that that both Badgerden and Terry are sort of in agreement that Trump doesn't need Bush. And I think Trump does not need Bush. I'm just saying it would be nice to see some unity. It would be nice to see some unity, some more unity than what we have. Louis from Oklahoma is here. Louis, thank you for joining. Louis writes, hello, nice to see everyone. Louis, did I get that right? You are from Oklahoma, right? I think so. I remember that, Louis. You're from Oklahoma. Badgerden writes, but I will continue being GOP after Trump is gone. Yep, so, if Trump gets elected again, he's going to have one more term, and then it'll be time for the next generation, right? But Badgerden will continue being GOP. Thank you, Badgerden. I am a conservative. I am a Republican. I'll always be a Republican. Badgerden writes, hello, Louis. So, Louis, everyone's happy to see you. Badgerden is saying hello to you. Terry is saying hello. So, Louis from Oklahoma. Louis, thank you for joining. Louis, let me just pause for a second and talk about something else. And the only reason I'm mentioning it is because you tuned in and you're from Oklahoma. I saw some really heartbreaking images and video clips from Oklahoma in the aftermath of the severe weather, the tornado, and the wind and all that Oklahoma just went through. Really heartbreaking, really heartbreaking to see homes destroyed and people suffering, people in a lot of pain, their property damaged, their belongings all lost. It's really heartbreaking. I saw that news and I was just feeling so bad. I have no words to describe. I mean, just looking at a scene where there used to be a house and now all the belongings are scattered. It's really heartbreaking. I mean, imagine what those people are going through. I pray for them, and I hope that they can overcome these challenges. So, Really, really heartbreaking. I get emotional because I have been over the years. I've been following different news updates about different hurricanes and tornadoes and wildfires. It's just heartbreaking to see what people go through in the aftermath of a natural disaster. So we're going to be praying for Oklahoma. Oklahoma is an amazing state. Oklahoma is a wonderful state. I've been to Oklahoma, and the people there, the people I interacted with in Oklahoma, not for too long, but all the people I ran into at a coffee shop, at a restaurant, everyone I've met in Oklahoma, just really kind people, wonderful people, wonderful people. So it's just heartbreaking. So, Louis, our prayers go out to the people of Oklahoma and all those who have been affected by the adverse weather. Louis writes, "Thanks for the kind words, Tassif." Yeah, well, you're welcome, Louis. We're praying for Oklahoma. Badgerton writes, "Isn't Oklahoma a red state?" It is a red state. It is a lovely red red state of Oklahoma. Um, Louis writes, the tornado happened 1 hour from the location. Uh, okay, so 1 hour away from where you are, northeast from my location. Okay. Louis, where in Oklahoma are you? Um, which city, which village in Oklahoma are you in? Um, I'll let you answer if you want to. Oklahoma. Terry writes, I have not heard President Joe say one thing about all the tornado damage. Badgerton writes, I watch the Red River rivalry in American football every year. Badgerton, I have to admit that I don't follow NFL as much, or college football. I don't. It's not a sport that I grew up watching, and so I never kind of got used to watching American football. Um, so Louis writes, I'm in suburb of Oklahoma City, East Side. Okay, okay. Um, so you are in East Side. Suburb of Oklahoma City. Okay. I hope everything is okay where you are, Louis. Um, so Badgerden, my knowledge about American football is very, very limited. Okay, I just know the Badgers and the Green Bay Packers. Okay, that's pretty much it. I was actually in Green Bay when I went up to Northeast Wisconsin for the Door County Republican Party event. I stayed at a hotel very close to Lambeau Field. Okay, Lambeau Field of the Green Bay Packers. Louis writes, "Thank you. All is safe here." So that's wonderful to hear, Louis. And we will continue. We will continue to pray for the people of Oklahoma. Give me 1 second. I'm just looking something up on the computer. So let's see. Kansas City. So back in 2018, when my mom and we made a trip from Madison, Wisconsin to Dallas, Texas. We drove through Oklahoma and we drove through Oklahoma City. So we took the route that took us to Des Moines, Iowa, and then Kansas City, and then Oklahoma City, and then to Dallas. And then on the way back, we took a different route that took us towards uh, through Oklahoma, but towards Springfield, Missouri, and then St. Louis, Missouri, and then back through Illinois, back to Wisconsin. Badgerden writes, God bless the people of Oklahoma. Yeah, I agree, Badgerden. God bless the people of Oklahoma. All right. So, my friends, anyone else here who tuned in but has not yet participated in the live chat window, please do so. See, we always have great conversation. Of course, we discuss things that are of pressing concern. But we also discuss a lot of nice things, and we talk to each other. We find out what's going on in each state. We share our thoughts and comments. So please, if you have not participated in the live chat, please do so. Please do so, my friends. All right. So Badgerden is writing, Reba McEntire is from Oklahoma. That is correct. She is from Oklahoma. Born in Oklahoma. McEntire. McEntire. Yeah, that's the spelling. You made the correction, Badgerden. Yeah, McEntire, right? Is that how it's pronounced, McEntire? McIntyre or McEntire? Okay. Yep. She is from Oklahoma. Absolutely correct. Now I feel like visiting Oklahoma. It's such a beautiful state. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to do some traveling this summer. I would like to, but there are so many things, so many events that I have in Wisconsin. I am traveling quite a bit, but I'm traveling I'm traveling within the state of Wisconsin. Like I was up in Green Bay and in Door County, and then earlier, back in March, I was in Green Bay, and then I'm supposed to be in Appleton, which is close to Green Bay. I'm supposed to be in Appleton for the Republican Party of Wisconsin's state convention that's coming up. That's coming up in the middle of May, and so I'm supposed to be traveling to Appleton, and so and then the national convention is coming up in July. I don't know if I'm going to be attending the national convention. I don't know that yet. I think I would like to, but I don't know yet. We'll have to find out. July is still far away, so I don't know. But if I have an opportunity, I would like to travel out of the state to, and by out of state, I don't mean in any neighboring state like Iowa or Illinois or Minnesota. I'm thinking like a state further away, maybe Texas, maybe Oklahoma, maybe New York. I've said this before. I feel like I should go to New York and do some live stream from there. I talk about New York quite a bit on my channel. I discuss the migrant crisis in New York and all the things that are going on in New York, and the challenges that the state is facing, and the various crises that the New Yorkers are facing. So I feel like if I get to go to New York, I should live stream from there. I think that'd be great if I can do that. Maybe live stream from like Manhattan, or Long Island, or Brooklyn, Bronx, from maybe multiple places in New York. I would like to drive by those places where the migrant shelters are, and I want to see the scene on the ground with my own eyes in New York. And I can do that in Chicago very easily because Chicago is just a couple hours away by car. So I could go to Chicago and do that. I could check out some of the neighborhoods where people are seeing migrant crisis. But I'm thinking I should do that from New York. So will I be able to do any traveling to to states a little further away from Wisconsin? I don't know. Maybe I should go to Denver. Maybe I should go to Denver and do a live stream from there. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, there's a lot that I would like to do. It's just matter of time and opportunity. And obviously, traveling is expensive now. I mean, that's a strong consideration. I mean, I think about 2017. I think about 2018. I didn't have to worry much before traveling. Gas was affordable, and overall, hotels were affordable, and I didn't have to worry much about traveling. I could just wanted to go to Nashville for Christmas in 2017. Went to Nashville for Christmas. Stayed at a nice resort. 2018, went to Dallas, Texas for Christmas. Didn't have to worry about funds or funding or budget. But since 2021, since Joe Biden came to office, the economy has been so bad and everything is so expensive, including fuel and utilities and food, that it obviously makes a huge impact on a person's budget, including myself. So now, before I make any travel plans, before I think about going to New York or going to Texas, or going to wherever, California, Florida, whatever, I have to think about, okay, how much am I going to end up spending, and is it wise to do that now? I mean, everyone is uh, everyone has to think about, hardworking Americans will have to think about their finances and their budget before making travel plans. Badger Den is asking me to visit Nairobi. Um, why Nairobi, Badger Den? I am not into safaris. I know there are some great safaris, but uh, I have watched. So I have watched a lot of wilderness videos on YouTube, especially I think BBC Earth. BBC Earth has some great documentary videos, I think. And then let me see. BBC Earth has some great documentaries, and also is it National Geographic? I think National Geographic. I've watched a lot of videos. I think National Geographic. Yep. And Sir David Attenborough, right? I mean, is that how his name is pronounced? See, my pronunciations may not be 100%. I mean, he's a British gentleman. Sir David Attenborough. He has a great voice, and if you watch a lot of the wilderness documentaries, the wildlife documentaries, then Sir David Attenborough, he describes the lives of animals and nature in such a nice way, and he's got that perfect voice, right? He's got the perfect voice. So I enjoy watching those videos and listening to Sir David Attenborough. So I've seen documentaries on animals, in the safari in Nairobi and in other parts of Africa. Really, I mean, we live in such a beautiful world. There are so many beautiful places on earth. I mean, Africa is just an amazingly beautiful continent. Amazingly beautiful. Um, but visiting Nairobi, it's going to be very expensive, Badger Dan. I can't do that now. Yeah, going to Kenya is it's going to cost a lot of money. We can't do that with Joe Biden's inflation, Badger Den. Um, Badger Den writes, George Page also has a great voice. Have I listened to George Page? I don't know. Maybe I have. I can't. I can't remember George Page. I'm gonna look up George Page. Um. So yeah. So Badgerden, do you enjoy wildlife videos? Do you enjoy that? Um, I've watched a lot. I like the wildlife videos from Africa, but I also like videos from the Arctic, Arctic, Antarctica. I don't know. The lives of penguins and seals and polar bears. I love that too. I really do. Um, there's so much to learn, right? There's so much to learn every single day on this earth. Um, let's see. By the way, what I'm going to do now is write my email address for the new viewers who may be here. Um, so I'm going to write my email address for anyone who's joining for the first time. If you want to email me, you can at tossif@tossifanam.net. Badgerden writes, my name is Badgerden. I love animals. So Badgerden, I want to hear, how did you pick the name Badgerden? I don't know if that's part of your real name, or is it something that you came up with, for YouTube. So I would love to hear that. Badger obviously is, Wisconsin is the Badger state. I'm sure you know that. Um, so Badgerden, I want to hear how you came up with the name. Uh, I want to get to know all my YouTube friends. And it doesn't have to be all in one day, but I really want to get to know more about each and every one of you. So if you, whatever you want to share from your life, you can feel free to do that. I would appreciate it. And if you have questions you want to ask me, feel free to ask me, and I'll do my best to answer. So yeah, I'll let Badgerden decide if Badgerden wants to answer that. Badgerden writes, I love the animal. He's tenacious and determined, a lot like me. So you like Badger. So, Badgerden, have you been to Wisconsin, the Badger state? Do you like the Wisconsin Badgers? By the way, a badger is just an amazing, amazing animal. A badger is an amazing animal. Uh, so I have a picture with the mascot, Bucky Badger. Uh, I'll post it if I can find it. Um, Badgerden writes, I've only been to Milwaukee. Okay, when were you in Milwaukee, Badgerden? When was that? Was that in recent years? Was that a while back? I'll pause because I've asked a question. I'll let Badgerden answer that. Um, Badgerden writes, I visited Milwaukee about 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, meaning sometime in 2018. Then I'm guessing. Okay. I don't know if you were here for work or to visit a friend or just for tourism, but Milwaukee is a great place. I mean, Milwaukee is a city that has a lot of challenges, obviously, financial challenges. Crime is a huge issue in Milwaukee, not as bad as Chicago, but still, Milwaukee has some challenges. But I love Milwaukee. I really love the city. I very much do. It is a Democrat heavy city, but it's a beautiful city. And, it has a lot of potential. Has a lot of potential, Milwaukee does. Um, Badgerton writes, I have family in Milwaukee. I also have family in Chicago. Oh, so you have family in Milwaukee. That's great. So you have family in Wisconsin. That's wonderful, Badger Den. Milwaukee is a great city. And, all eyes are on Milwaukee now because the Republican National Convention will be held in Milwaukee, the Republican National Convention, and then the Democrat National Convention will be held in Chicago. So close to each other, Milwaukee and Chicago, not far from each other. Yeah, Milwaukee is a great place. Um, I'm actually planning on going to Milwaukee um, sometime soon. I mean, it's just a short drive, like 90 minutes, less than 90 minutes. Um, it's actually what, 85, 90 miles, depending on where in Milwaukee you're going. I could be in Milwaukee in an hour and a half. Okay, if I start driving now, it's 10:16 p.m. If I start driving now, I'll be in Milwaukee before midnight. Okay. I like Milwaukee. A really amazing city. Milwaukee has a lot of great restaurants. Lots of great restaurants. Good food, nice people. I like Milwaukee. The suburbs of Milwaukee are also very nice. All right. So, Badger Den and I are having a great conversation here. And anyone who has tuned in but has not yet participated in the live chat window, please look at this conversation that Badger Den and I are having. Participate in the conversation. Ask me a question, write a comment. If you want me to talk about any topic, you can suggest that in the live chat window. If I am able to talk on that topic, I will do so. If I don't have the expertise or if I don't have much knowledge about the specific topic, then I'll say that. So please recommend topics. Write your advice. All right. Okay. Any more questions, my friends? We are at the 42-minute time mark. I usually stay over an hour, but only if people have things to talk about. If there are things you want to share, if you have questions you want to ask, if you want to suggest a topic for a future live stream, please feel free to do that. So Badger Den, if you can, you should visit Wisconsin again soon. Perhaps when the weather is nice, sometime in the summer or fall. It's beautiful here in Wisconsin. As you know, if you've been to Milwaukee, you know that. My friend Terry is writing, you should come and see one of us and do a live stream together. Terry, I would love that. How about I do a live stream from South Dakota? How about I do a live stream from Mount Rushmore? Wouldn't that be awesome? So Badger Den writes, I'm concerned as to why George W. Bush wants to endorse Trump now. Well, Badger Den, I have not seen any news report that George W. Bush wants to endorse Trump. I mean, unless you've seen that news and I missed it somehow. I was just throwing an idea out there that perhaps George W. Bush should endorse Trump as a sign of party unity, but I don't know if he wants to endorse. Maybe I didn't see the news. I don't know. Does he really want to endorse? I haven't seen that in the news. So I really don't know. I'm just making a suggestion. I'm just making a suggestion that perhaps it's time for George W. Bush to endorse Trump. Terry writes, or we come see Madison. Terry, you've lived in Greene County. You can come to Madison anytime, and perhaps at some point we should do like a like a roundtable discussion. You know, sit around a table. You know, just like we chat here, maybe we should just sit around a table, have a camera, and do a live stream. Live stream the discussion. Terry writes, "You're welcome." Uh, Badgerton writes, "I fear that George W. Bush could be another Mike Pence." Um, George W. Bush, I don't know. I think Bush should endorse Trump, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just making a suggestion. Terry writes, "LOL, I've seen Madison." Terry, how long did you live in Wisconsin, Terry? How many years have you lived in Wisconsin? I think you mentioned that to me. Um, Terry writes, "Get a Wisconsin guest on your show." That would be awesome. I have not had a guest on my show. Maybe it would be nice to have a guest on my show. I'll think about it. I may need to get an additional software if I want somebody to join. Perhaps, I don't know. I have to figure out the tech. Terry writes, since '93. So Terry, you've spent so much time in Wisconsin. Now you're in South Dakota. Maybe I should come to South Dakota and do a live stream from there, as I've said. I'd love to do live stream from multiple states. Badgerden writes, "Hey Tossif, have you ever visited the upper part of Michigan? The views are great." I have not visited Michigan, Badgerden. I know it is so close. It's a neighboring state. I have not. I have been to Superior in northern Wisconsin. I've been to northern Wisconsin. But I have not been to the upper part of Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, the UP. I have not been there. Maybe I should soon. Terry writes, "LOL, Door County is close to Michigan." I know, Terry. I was so close to Michigan when I was in Door County, but I did not. I didn't go to Washington Island, and I did not go to Michigan. But it is so close. Door County is so close. You could take a boat, maybe just go to Michigan. Yeah, it is so close. So yeah, I have not been to Michigan. I know the views are great. I would love to visit Canada. I'd love to visit Canada. I've been to Canada, but that was many, many years ago. I'd love to visit Canada again. And this time it would be nice to actually drive to Canada rather than take a plane. So perhaps I could go to Duluth, Minnesota and just keep driving north and maybe visit Canada. That'd be awesome, I think. Let me just see. All right. So Badgerden, to answer your question, I have not been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, but now that you mentioned that, it just reminds me I need to make that trip hopefully soon. There's so many places I want to visit. So many places that I've been to. I always travel. I'm always traveling within the state. I'm going to very nice places. But Michigan I have not been to yet. Let's see. So, all right. We are at the 49-minute time mark. Let me see. Somebody just sent me a message. Who is it? Let's see. Today I've got my laptop here in front of me, so I'm checking a few things as I am talking. I have to do a podcast episode. I haven't done a podcast episode in a while, so it's due. There are some topics I want to discuss very soon. And so, please look forward to a podcast episode that may be coming out soon. But Terry, I like your idea. Maybe I should have a guest on my show at some point. Maybe somebody who's running for office here in Wisconsin. maybe a candidate for an office. I don't know. That would be pretty nice. I'll have to think about it. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, I should invite maybe some candidates to maybe I should interview some candidates on this show. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be nice, I think. All right, my friends, we are past the 50-minute time mark. Please ask me some questions. Please um, talk to me about things that you would like me to discuss. Um, I have a few things I need to do after this live stream today, so I'll be up for a while. And Terry, let me ask you, when are you visiting Wisconsin again? Do you have any plans to visit Wisconsin this year? Um, yeah, just let me know if you want to visit Wisconsin. All right. October. So you're coming in October, right before the election. Terry, you're coming in October. Let me know when you're visiting. When you know the dates, let me know. That'd be great. All right. Okay. All right. Terry says okay. All right. That's great. So I am really hoping and praying that we somehow regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. But when I'm looking at Wisconsin, it's probably going to be an uphill battle in Wisconsin. I still believe that Tammy Baldwin can be defeated, but is it going to be easy? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be pretty challenging. Anytime you've got a two-term incumbent, it can be challenging to defeat an incumbent, okay? But it's not impossible. I still think Eric Hovde can win. We still have months before the election, so a lot can change. But we have to win Wisconsin, and I don't know what to say about Arizona. I really don't know what to say about Arizona. I am hoping Kari Lake wins. That will, if we win Wisconsin, the U.S. Senate race in Wisconsin, if Kari Lake wins Arizona, then there'll be 2 seats that we gain. I'm pretty confident that Jim Justice is going to win in West Virginia. I'm pretty confident that Larry Hogan will win in Maryland, which is kind of amazing to think about it, right? I mean, Maryland is a blue state, so if Larry Hogan wins in Maryland, it'll be awesome. And then, Ohio. Ohio is going to be so very important. Ohio is going to be important. Is Bernie Moreno going to win Ohio? We have to wait and see. I hope he does. I hope he wins. I hope he wins, my friends. All right. So, my friends, all those who joined today, let me see. Badger Den and Terry. Anyone else here? And Louis. Louis, are you still here? I'm just asking if Louis, you're still here. Just write something so we know you are here. And if you have left, that's okay. Maya Sisters is here. Maya Sisters writes, "Hi everyone, joining late. Toss if I'm worried about Wisconsin Senate. Hovde is not doing well." Maya Sisters, that's what I was talking about. This new Quinnipiac University poll that came out. Once again, I always have to mention that you may trust the poll results, you may not trust the poll results. So I know some people they trust the polls, some don't. So it depends on where you stand, in terms of believing the polls. But as I'm looking at the Quinnipiac University poll, the survey, I can see that Hovde is behind, and that makes me very, very concerned. So Louis is still here. Louis from Oklahoma, you're still here. Wonderful. Louis writes, "I wonder what topics would be appropriate, useful, or necessary for group discussion, like local or national politics, economy, finance, world news events, or even others like quality of life. All of those are great topics. I like to, on this channel, I like to talk about things that affect us as Americans. Okay? So, the Ukraine Russia war, although it's far, far away, thousands of miles away, that's affecting us because our tax dollars are going to Ukraine, right? And we've seen that. So, that's a relevant topic, uh, because it's affecting us taxpayers. What's going on in the Middle East? It's affecting us, the taxpayers here in America. Um, Crime in communities across the country affecting us, right? Supply chain issues, inflation, fuel price, everything is affecting us. Elections, the results of elections affecting us. Um, so I like to discuss anything and everything that pertains to what we go through here in America. Okay, and that's why I say that I like to discuss, um, you know, social and political issues, both domestic and international. So, if at some point I get to have some kind of, um, you know, uh, so I'm the only one on video, and who's speaking, who's participating in the chat window, right, with others who are tuning in. But if we ever get to a forum where we have people in person around the table, and if we get to have like a roundtable discussion that we can live stream, I think that would be awesome. I don't know how likely that is in the coming months, but at some point perhaps it's possible. And if we can do that, um, it'll be pretty awesome. It'll be pretty awesome, and we can talk about a variety of issues, right? So that's something I'm going to keep in mind. If it's ever possible, it'll be nice to do. And as Terry suggested, can I have guests on my show? Perhaps I can. I'll have to figure out the technology, right? How to include somebody else on the same screen, and what to do. So that's homework that I have to do. Maya Sisters writes, um, uh, Maya Sisters is mentioning Leah Vukmir. So I had officially endorsed Leah Vukmir back in 2018. Her team reached out and asked for endorsement, and so both myself and my mother, we officially endorsed Leah Vukmir in 2018, and it was sad to see that the election results did not go as we expected. We lost that Senate race, and so there are lessons to be learned from that. And I hope that we win this time. We can't afford another 2018. I mean, 2018, that night, my sisters, you are from Wisconsin. You are from Wisconsin. If you remember that night, the night of 2018 election, we faced tremendous losses in 2018. And I remember that election night very, very clearly. My mom and I, we were both at the election night party in Waukesha County in Pewaukee, where Governor Walker and Attorney General Brad Schimmel and Leah Vukmir, they were all having their election night event. And that night was supposed to be a night of victory, but it turned out to be a night of major losses because Governor Walker was not able to secure another term, and then Attorney General Brad Schimmel, he was not able to secure another term because the election results were, the results were not what we hoped for. Okay. And then Leah Vukmir also was not able to win that Senate election. So there were major losses that we, the Republicans, faced in November 2018, the night of the election. And I was there. I remember everything clearly. And it was sad. It was very, very sad. We lost the Republican governor. We lost the Republican attorney general. We were not able to get the Senate seat, and Tammy Baldwin got reelected, and now we have to think about 2024 and how do we defeat Tammy Baldwin and help the Republicans regain the majority in the U.S. Senate. So Eric Hovde has to win. Eric Hovde needs to win, and that's all I'll say. So these campaigns are so expensive nowadays. These campaigns are very expensive. Tens of millions of dollars are spent in these big races, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. Each candidate has his or her own strategy. So let's give Eric Hovde some more time to see what he does. Obviously, the Republican Party of Wisconsin State Convention is coming up in the middle of May. So we are like a week away. We are like a week away. Just a little over a week away from the Republican Party of Wisconsin State Convention, which is going to be taking place in Appleton, Wisconsin. So Maya Sisters, I don't know if you're planning on going to the convention. So if you are still here, if you're listening, feel free to answer if you're planning on going to the convention. I plan to be there. I'm a delegate from Dane County. I'm a delegate at the state convention, and so I'll be there. My mother's going to be there. She's also a delegate, and so we're looking forward to the convention. And obviously, we'll have a better sense of the Hovde campaign at the convention, and I'm sure Hovde is going to be speaking on stage, so I'm looking forward to hearing him speak. I've obviously met him. I was there. I was a guest at the campaign launch party, the campaign launch event that Hovde had, and so I was there in the room when Eric Hovde announced that he's running. He spoke very well. It was a brief speech, and it was like short and to the point, and it was good. It was good. Sometimes short speeches are better than long ones, so it was a good speech. My Sisters writes, I did not know about the convention location and date. So the convention is going to be taking place in Appleton, Wisconsin. If you actually go to the website of the Republican Party of Wisconsin, you can get more information. So I have been a delegate for many years, so I'll be going as a delegate as usual, and looking forward to it. So it's taking place. So my sisters, just because you wanted to know the convention location and date, it's taking place in Appleton. So take a look at that. I don't know, Maya Sisters, if you are a Republican Party member, if you're officially a member. If you're not, then you can get in touch with the local county party and find out if what the process would be for you to attend if you want to attend. I used to be on the executive committee of the Republican Party of Dane County. My Sisters writes, no, not an official member, independent voter. Okay, so you are independent. Okay, but obviously I can tell you're pretty conservative. I'm making an assumption. I think you are pretty conservative. I think based on the conversations we've had during the live chat, um, you know. But yeah, good to be independent. Obviously, we would welcome you to be on the Republican side officially. So, feel free to become a Republican Party member if you choose to do so. All right. Okay. My friends, we have crossed the 1 hour, 5 minute time mark. Maya Sisters writes, yes, I am Frederick Douglass conservative. All right, that's wonderful, Maya Sisters. That is wonderful. So yeah, check out the convention information, and if you decide to become an official Republican, yeah, that'd be great. All right. Okay, my friends, we have crossed the 1 hour, 6 minute time mark. I am planning to wrap up this live stream today unless there are things you want to discuss. If you do, please let me know. But I will try to do a live stream every day. Now tomorrow, my friends, I may not be able to do a live stream, so I just want to let you know because tomorrow I have a speaking engagement in the evening. I'm supposed to be speaking at an event. I'm supposed to be speaking on immigration issues. I'll tell you more about the event. It's a Republican Party event here in Wisconsin, and so that event is probably going to keep me tied up in the evening, and it may be a little late by the time I get home, and so I will not be able to do a live stream tomorrow. But I will plan on doing a live stream on Friday. So if you don't see me doing a live stream tomorrow, please tune in on Friday because that's when I'll plan on doing another live stream. I'll try to announce it ahead of time so that you all can get notifications, okay? So Terry is writing, boy, every Republican event wants you. Well, thank you, Terry. I appreciate it. I am happy to speak wherever I'm invited. And so I got an invite to speak at an event tomorrow. It's a Republican Party event, and I'll be doing a PowerPoint presentation and talking about immigration, talking about my journey as an immigrant, and so I'm looking forward to it. And so I may be outside until 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and that's why I'm saying I may not be able to do a live stream tomorrow. So please stay tuned, my friends, and watch the videos that I've uploaded on this channel. If you have not watched my speech that I delivered at the Republican Party of Door County's Lincoln Day Dinner, it's on my YouTube channel. Please watch that video. I would appreciate that very much. And once again, friends, I appreciate you joining. Badger Den, my friend Terry, Louie from Oklahoma, Maya Sisters, each and every one of you, my friends, you are my friends. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Louis writes, great, everyone. Good night. Thank you, Louis. Have a good night. Terry writes, watch and share. Please watch and share my videos. Thank you, Terry. Maya Sisters writes, nice chatting all. Good night. Best wishes on the speech. Thank you so much. So, no live stream tomorrow, but hopefully I'll do a live stream on Friday. So please stay tuned. Once again, thank you everyone for joining. Please watch my videos and share my videos and give my videos thumbs up. Before you leave, please give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Badger Den writes, good night, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Badger Den, it's always a pleasure seeing you tune in for the live streams. Really appreciate it, Badger Den. Thank you so very much. Terry writes, night all. Thanks, Tassif. Thank you, Terry. Thanks for being here. So everyone, thank you once again for tuning in. I'll be back again, hopefully on Friday. So please stay connected, like my videos, share my videos, and thank you so very much. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.